Yo, yo.
Welcome back. We are back after a brief vacation. Welcome back, everyone, to another night of Island Boys Football Talk.
I still have
First,
it.
I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone. Um, we haven't done much shows over the past 2.5 weeks. Shane was away on work. I was on vacation, but we're back now to celebrate the holidays and have some holiday football happening as well. Of course, you got Jizzle in the building representing the Philadelphia Eagles, Shane in the building representing the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm Shrita representing the Carolina Panthers. So we're happy to be back streaming off of our YouTube platform and Facebook platform and Twitter platform because the show usually is live when I put it on Twitter as well. Everything is at Island Boys Football Talk, and our cash app is money sign Island Boys Talk. So we're happy to be back. Like I said, we had some Christmas Eve football and Christmas football. We're gonna get through that today. We'll talk about San Fran's game against Baltimore, Phillies game against the G-Men, and Carolina's game against Green Bay, as well as looking forward to the crunch time, which is you got 2 more weeks. Look at some playoff scenarios and what's coming up. So we're happy to be back. Like I said, happy holidays, everyone. There was some good, there was some bad, and there was some ugly this week from our teams. We're gonna get through on that as well. But I mean, like I said, we're coming to the end of the NFL season. So if you don't know what you have now, I don't know when you're gonna know what you got. So and unfortunately for the Panthers, we're not in the playoffs, but Philly and San Fran are in the playoffs. So we'll talk about them going forward as well as Bryce Young and the Panthers. All right, so we won't hold up anything else. Um, Jizzle.
Uh, since I've been missing that game first.
So Shane want to get it off his chest.
Everyone,
All
everyone go.
right, Shane. We'll set up this thing on Twitter. Shane, you start the show.
Yeah,
Let's see what we got.
I miss. How much weeks I missed? Three?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
For the three
3 weeks
weeks.
I missed.
Yes.
I'll go back. I ain't gonna be long on the 3 weeks. I ain't gonna dwell too long on that and just come off real quick. Went in here on a nice little stretch. Played the Seahawks. Won that game. I think easily, even though they didn't have Gino, they had Drew Luck, but we still went in there and played them twice, I think, in 3 weeks. Beat them twice. And then we had the big game, the Eagles game, which I watched from my hotel room. Um, I still don't like it how it is. I still think, I think I watched a couple of the shows that you guys did, and KG ranted and raved, and he been talking about it since day one about the team not clicking, the offense not doing what it's supposed to do. And I think they're struggling against bigger teams that can figure out the offense and defensive teams that are more stronger playing against Philly. And I was trying to get up to talk one of them shows with Joe KG, but I couldn't do. I will say, I think it wasn't the game against us. I think it was the game after us that you guys played. And that's like the offense was stagnant in that game too. And I was like, if I didn't really have that
The offensive movement the ball has had 3 turnovers in the red zone.
right, and I
That
think
was the issue.
and if I didn't have that tush push, I think I'd have been in a lot more trouble because that's a guaranteed touchdown when you got a goal line, and that's a guaranteed first down when is down and short. Other than that, I just don't see the offense don't move. I ain't gonna say you don't move attacker, you don't move, but you don't move. What's the word I'm looking for?
There's no fluidity to the offense.
Right. No consecutive flowing in the
Yeah.
offense going on the line. I think that's what holding back Philly. And I think that would utter demise against the finals is that you couldn't move the ball consistently, get the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards down the field. Every time it would look like it had to be something big. Or, third and 5, you want to go big. Just get a 5 yards, get a first down and move on. So that's why I see in that. And then we played the Cardinals. I expected the outcome for the Cardinals there. Kyler Murray just they just still can't figure out themselves down there. And then last night, Christmas night against the Ravens. So I had marked that off in my schedule as a loss just because Lamar's a disgusting player to play against and hard to defend all around. But realistically, she just said at the beginning we had some good, the bad, and ugly. That was done right ugly last night. And that wasn't because the Ravens outplayed the 49ers. That wasn't because they did a better job than the 49ers. That was just the 49ers just give them that game. It's very hard to win a game when you turn over the ball 5 times and give a team like the Ravens the opportunity to start their field on your own 40-yard line for 6 consecutive possessions. You know, in that game, we had more passing yards than the Ravens. We had 308 passing yards, so they had 241. We had more rushing yards than the Ravens, 121 to 102 yards. We outgained Baltimore, 429 to 343. 6.3 yards of carry per play. 6.3 yards per play to the Ravens, 5.4. But we turn over the goddamn ball 5 times. 4 interceptions from Purdy, 1 from Sam Darnold.
But remember, the stats gonna be a little misleading because the field position.
Yeah.
So this total yards, that's a misleading stat. You just said, them turnovers, the Ravens had
a lot of short fields.
A lot of short fields compared to Ayer thing.
6.
So they would never outgain Ayer and and then plus you guys play from behind basically for the whole game, and they'll just run the ball. And well, Lamar still throw, but they ain't had much field to think without, because like you say, five pick. Well, one was in the end zone at the end, but 4 picks from Purdy, all short field positions.
They start most of them drives. I don't think they start past the 45. Mm-hmm. And when you're playing against Lamar, who's a triple threat, and all he gotta do, I mean, he could just, if he ain't got hit down the field, he can run for it. You know, he get a 5 yards, you got a 35. If you run another 5, you got a 30. From there, and
he was good at taking check downs too.
Right, very good at taking check downs. I mean, you can see his progression in his career. Right. But you know, it happens. That was an ugly game. I just hope we get that's it. We get that shit out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'll give it to Baltimore for just being in the right positions at all the time. It was just like they almost like they knew. I don't know if it's good film work or whatever, but they almost knew that if Purdy roll this way, he can throw that way. If you do this way, he can do that way, and just put your hands up. The first interception that was on Purdy, he got fooled completely by the safety. It was a great move. The safety rolled away from the middle of the field, and then as soon as Purdy went into emotional throw, he came right back into the middle of the field. Think about a bad throw on Purdy's side too. You got a middle of the field wide open like that.
Yeah, look after safety.
You need to go ahead and put the ball either on the receiver, or you put it with only the receiver and catching. He kind of lead him towards it. Like I said again, it looked like the safety were moving out of the way, so he didn't expect the safety to be able to come back and get it. But you're playing against NFL players. These guys could cover ground real fast as a special safety. It was a great pick. The other 3 picks, you know, they can always say is always on a quarterback, but tip, all 3. The next 3 were all tip passes. And some of them, 2 I think hit the receivers and they just batted up in the air. I see Christian McCaffrey try to catch a ball and he 3 hands down like this. That's something I'd get my son head about. When you're gonna catch a ball, don't ever try to swat at the ball, catch the ball. You know, look like he tried to swat at the ball and the ball popped right up in the air. So one of them games and move on to the next. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I know that was gonna be a tough game. The sad thing is that the trend right now is that we played the NFC North, the AFC North, and we came out of the AFC North with a 1-3 record. That's to me, I ain't like that, Tom. And we lost against Cincinnati, we lost against the Browns, we lost against the Ravens. And most likely the Ravens looking to be the number 1 team in the AFC right now going to the Super Bowl. And if we're trying to be that number 1 team to go play them again, we're going to have to get a lot better than what we did last night. We can't have a repeat of that game again last night. So other than that, I think we're filling up some gaps. We had a couple. Some players were banged up. We were missing some players, but that had nothing to do with that game. That game was all about the turnovers and putting the defense in them positions not to be able to stop Lamar and shot yardage situations. So that's all I got there.
All right, Jizzle, you got anything on it?
I covered most of everything, but most likely what you see from that game is where you see the Baltimore had a good game plan going into that game with crunching the middle of the field a little bit more. For some, Kyle Hamilton was all over the field. If there was no Kyle Hamilton, I think that game would have been a whole lot different. That defensive coordinator, he constantly had pressure on Purdy for most of that game. He sent overload blitz, unscheduled blitz, and things like that. So you kind of see after Purdy, through that first interception, then a second interception, you see kind of got rattled a little bit when he rendered the package and threw the ball in the middle of the field on schedule, and hits Kittle, and there's another interception again from Kyle Hamilton again. So you gotta give credit to the Baltimore Ravens for slowing on that San Francisco offense. Ain't too much teams in the NFL who actually do that. Whether it was Debo running on the what you call it, on the options, on the motioning, whether it's Christian McCaffrey, they were right there to either tackle Debo or Christian McCaffrey. Even that the play where Debo made Kyle Hamilton bounce off of him.
Yeah, still good defense.
Bounce off of him a little bit. He was right there, and so it's like they brought the physicality to San Francisco, as you can see. So you got to give credit to that defense. Lamar is spectacular, of course. Regardless, I don't understand why Steve Wilks didn't try to blitz at times, so different type of blitzes, because he kept rushing for, but still
try to contain him.
But still, he had the containment rushing for, but still, I mean, when you give a team short fields, it's hard to win a game. So the offense, I think hopefully Purdy probably could watch that game with his system and probably play better next week. But the way how that game plan was, they crunched the middle of the field and then made Purdy all over the beat down with his arm a little bit. Especially when you that first interception where he didn't look after that receiver. I mean, he didn't look after that safety. That safety just dropped back and kept watching his eyes.
No, the first interception.
He didn't look him off.
The safety actually had roll out.
Yeah, but he didn't look him off.
He thought he had the middle.
Yeah, but you got to look him off. You got to fool him with your eyes. He's watching your eyes all the time.
Should have been a better pass.
So you got to fool him off, and if so, when you fool him off, you give him less time to react, and you force the ball over his head, probably in the back of the end zone, not in the middle of the field. So hopefully Kyle Shanahan can fix certain things, but got to give credit to that Baltimore Ravens team. They're a tough team to stop right now, especially that defense. They got playmakers on defense. I wish the Eagles could somehow learn a little bit from that defense. Yeah, you don't have the linebackers, you don't have the safeties, but at times you just can't sit back in zone coverage all game. You will get picked up on, regardless of who the quarterback is. Baltimore should in that game, regardless of who the quarterback, whoever the offensive coordinator is. If you can rattle the quarterback a little bit, he will make mistakes. Yeah. That is bringing pressure.
Show off the timing, especially the downfall of Purdy gonna be his greatest strength. And his greatest strength right now is them anticipation throws. And I watch it, and I watch it already, and I watch it against Minnesota as well too. And I think what gonna happen too is when you don't. So we didn't have Jauan Jennings in that game last night. You don't have the people that you're accustomed to throwing the ball to and use an anticipation passer. Your timing gonna be off. And I see it last night with Willie Snead and Ronnie Bell. There's like 1, 2, 3 break, the ball already in there. The 1, 2, the ball already in the air. 3, you need to be breaking. And it was just the timing was off. And I see it already. And I've been watching it for a couple of weeks, and I think, I like to see it, but then I hate it because if it's off timing, this is what happen. And so certain things you work on. We work it out and see what happens.
Well, one thing I see too is those 4 losses come from teams that got real good defensive coordinators. You got Brian Flores, really good defensive coordinator, gonna dial up the blitz, but he don't mix it up a lot. You got Mike McDonald, the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, Jim Schwartz, the Browns coordinator, and that fell off. I can't remember his name, but the one from the Bengals. Rita keeps saying it. His strength is throwing in the middle. He got some real good throws in the middle, but you put a safety there in the middle and you don't look him off. Remember that game against Minnesota. I think it was Minnesota. One of them was, I think, a miscommunication. With the other one, he didn't look after that safety, and that safety jumped the road. It's the same thing like KG say. He didn't look him off again. He real good throwing to the middle. That's one thing. He can throw to the middle, and maybe if he had Jennings or something else. But when them people cram the middle, when those defenses cram the middle and put pressure on him faster, it forces you to make the throw a little better. And he struggled there against Baltimore. The tip picks and things, yeah, that gonna happen. But those, if somebody come to you and say, "But how we gonna beat San Fran? Because it ain't likely you could overpower them defense." How I would be calling Mike McDonald straight, because Mike McDonald
just give them the blueprint.
Yeah, Mike McDonald showed them how you can beat San Fran on the defensive side. Maybe not beat, but how to contain. It will happen.
Yeah.
How do you contain them? So
I see two things last night that a team should focus on doing to beat the Finals. One is get the lead. And two,
that's another thing I was just going to see.
Get the lead.
That's another thing I was just going to see, because the way the 49ers built, they would keep the ball away from you for the longest while and march down the track and have it dry and score.
Yep.
It just seemed different when they got play from behind and try to make thing. It just different. But to me, it's just like the reason I don't want to say it in a negative way, but when Porty leading, he does manage that game very, very good.
Free up.
When he behind, he has to become
precise.
A little bit more than, I don't want to just leave it as say game man, but he has to become a
conservative,
upper echelon quarterback to just march drives, and he can do it because he got the weapons, but it don't be consistent. He trying to score, especially you go down 2 scores. It's all of a sudden it's like the 49ers don't feel him could come back from a 2-score game. They kind of rush trying to get back in. You side in the Cincinnati game, and Cincinnati just steamroll out in front. Side in the Minnesota game, then you see last night is like when he play, when them in front, you use your heavy dose of McCaffrey, you use your Debo, you gonna get things in and Kittle and you're just going free flowing. Soon as them go down, it kind of like they feel like they don't score on this drive, the game gonna go out of hand. And Porter got to probably do a little bit more. I don't know why you think he got to do a little bit more, but the throws, like you say, he got to be the mistakes, because Minnesota game he had 2 or 3 picks, right? 2 or 3.
2 in the Minnesota game.
Yeah, he had picks in the Cincinnati game too, right?
I don't think
so.
No, I don't think he had. No picks. He threw.
Yeah, he had pick.
He had a pick in that Cincinnati game.
He had 3 picks in the Browns game.
Right, and either he had a pick or fumble or something. They had a costly turnover.
Keep talking, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but it's just when the 49ers on the offensive side. You see, the defense, you could say, I won't say hell their own, but considering where they always had to start,
the positioning, yeah,
you're gonna give up some points. You just don't. You hope that they can not give up the touchdown and hold them to field goals, but it's hard to do that with Lamar Jackson. But as you see, couple things come out of that game. Those more physical defenses, I ain't gonna say exploit, but I would say they kind of open up stuff for other coordinators to look at. These other next games against who?
Washington.
Yeah, okay, they ain't gonna show nothing. And
last game against the Rams.
Okay, depending on how the Rams playing, because they're playing for positioning.
They're
So
gonna be playing hard because
they're gonna be playing.
they're playing for that last spot.
Yeah, they're playing hard. But the thing about it is like the 49ers seem like the most complete team in the NFC, which is probably right because the way the Eagles play right now, I really can't tell you what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the most complete team in the NFC, but they just play the most complete team in the AFC. I'll tell you that. That brings me to my next thing. You remember if you watch all these things, everybody tell you the odds are Paul they look in favor for the odds on the MVP. But he just played the real MVP just now.
Yeah.
Because if Lamar is the MVP of the league, that normally we don't like to say it, but that one offensive coordinator switch that then went to Todd Monken, that completely changed the way Lamar is. Because he don't use his legs like he have to like back then, but he uses it as a weapon. But this year, if you recognize it, he's standing up in the pocket a lot more and he making it choose. I don't consider Odell a number one. I don't consider Zay Flowers a number one. Bateman a number one. Mark Andrews am number one. Is being out for the season, missed a few games. If you want to talk about a valuable player, is Lamar. He keeping that team together and no disrespect.
He win it already, so we know.
Yeah, but you see that year there when he had win it, he went crazy on the ground.
Yeah.
He even going crazy on the ground. No, he run when he have to. But he just that I'll tell one thing, like I said, John Harbaugh and those guys real good. But give it to Monken because Todd Monken, he I remember that he sat down with Lamar and said, I don't want you to just be out there running and kill yourself. I want you to pass. When you move out of the pocket, look to pass and then use your legs only as if you need to. And yeah. They got other MVP candidates. I still think McCaffrey is an MVP candidate, and then they got I still think Tyreek and them fellas is MVP candidates as well. But Lamar, that Ravens team, I don't think none of us picked the Ravens in our bold prediction. But
I don't think so, because I think how we were looking at how the team was stacked and what he had to work with.
Yeah, we didn't really think that and then same thing in that division too, which is a tough division.
Yeah.
So coach, we
injured.
Exactly.
So Deshaun would have come out and do something.
MVP, I'll have to give it to Lamar based on his performance. All right, so that's San Fran. San Fran has Washington coming up, and then I don't want to.
They're not big game next week then.
Against the Rams, yeah.
No, against the Dolphins. Yeah.
Who?
The Dolphins next week.
Oh no, I'm talking about San Fran next game.
Oh no, we got the Commanders, right?
Yeah, that was it. It ain't no big game. The Dolphins. I talking about that. No, I talking about San Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah. So San Fran game next against Washington shouldn't be a big thing, and then should be a good battle against the Rams. All right. Kid, you gonna save you for last, guys. When you start to go out, I might go sleep.
I ain't talking long about now. I ain't here with this team no more.
You can switch it over to Carolina.
I ain't think able for you neither.
I ain't gonna keep it long. I just want to see. Me and KG watch some of this game on the Falcons and then the Packers.
We can get fined on this show too, so be careful.
No, but them had to fire Frank Wright for a long time because the guy is treading the ball left, right, and center. Bryce Young, I never wavered in my support for Bryce Young. I always felt he would be real good. We questioned all the people are wrong, but my biggest thing about it was I felt that he was not put in good positions, and there was a terrible game against the Falcons where the war is there. You could have paid 45 cents and probably go to the game. And it was in this they stuck in it. And then all of a sudden, Bryce Young leads that game-winning drive, big throws, big-time throws. He has 2 game-winning drives already for the season. That was our 2 wins. And then all of a sudden against Green Bay, it looked like Green Bay would have rolled me. It was down 23-10 at halftime. And we can't pass 10 points. And this Bryce Young just decided that he gonna start the riding season for Christmas. And it was 30, and he let go throw there, and all we had to do was to spike the ball, but the referees decided that Green Bay need to win more than we. The referees went on a serious Green Bay Packer fandom there, because if you only watch some calls out there, if Shane was here with me against that Green Bay thing. I sent Shane all kind of things there, but the amount of nonsense that the referees, the NFL, I rather robot referees, because the nonsense the referees do to that game. They really decided that they wanted the Panthers to lose that game. But remember, I always say, coming down to the end of the season, the question was, how will Bryce continue to look? Many persons wanted him shut down because the situation wasn't good. Bryce never wanted to shut down. Finally, I'm starting to see Thomas Brown version of the playbook. Under center, roll outs, play actions, jet sweeps, power running. And that's what making the power runner. When you rush, gas the defense with big runs, the play action is much easier. The past 3-4 games, he's not been getting sacked a lot. Once or twice, he's not getting sacked. That's the thing about it. He has better time. The DJ Chark had a great game. Thielen is only 5 catches and 36 yards away from 100,000 season. That's everybody thought Thielen was done after that season with Washington, after the season with Minnesota. But it's not. Bryce Young continues to play good. As KG would know, Evero continues to play, have strong defensive game. I mean, we gave up 23 points in that first half against the Green Bay, and we had Jordan Love look like the young version of Aaron Rodgers out there just trading. And then all of a sudden, he just came and he made the thing. They scored 1 touchdown in the second half. So Evero continues to do a great job. But one great thing aside from the Panthers was David Tepper admitted to a lot of his high-level persons in there that he put the blame on himself with the way the season has been. You know, normally a lot of persons point fingers and everything. He's not pointing fingers. He puts the blame on himself. He wants to right the ship. He wants to win. I can give him credit for that. Not many owners would do that, but he wants to win. He told you it's his fault. Hired the wrong guy. Season didn't go as planned. They want Ben Johnson. We'll get into that in the half season. They definitely want Ben Johnson. Everero's a strong candidate, but I don't think they're gonna go the defensive route. But they would give Ben Johnson a blank check full of about $15 million if he wants to think. But the way the Panthers have been playing, there's still some hope. It all falls on Bryce Young. Like I said, Bryce Young went 23 or 36, over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions last week. Made big time. If you go and watch it, the crazy thing about it is, right, we DJ Chark averaged 1.1 yards of separation last week. 1.1, you know. And he still had 6 catches, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. If you see some of the throws, the 2 touchdown catches he catch was spot on. You know, Madden, they got the X Factor dead eye. But I thought Bryce Young had the dead eye in Green Bay there. He just dead eye everybody there. Bryce Young took some big steps going forward. And as you can see, it's all smiles. I got my picture up. It's all smiles from him. He's loving the game. He's using his legs a lot more, not as a design run. He even do a quarterback sneak. When everybody say he too small, he can't quarterback sneak, I'm gonna kill him. He quarterback. The team is a lot. I'll give credit to Chris Tabor, our special teams coordinator. I hope he comes back. But he has a respect of the room. Special team, there's something with special teams coaches. They coach offensive players and defensive players, so they know most of the team. And you remember the same thing when it happened in Oakland, in Las Vegas, when I can't remember the fellow, Mariucci, had take over for the Raiders, and the Raiders went on this nice little bit. These special teams guys knows how to gel with the team. Yeah, John Harbaugh, he's a special teams coach before he got a head coach. there's something about special team coordinators that know how to bring out guys in the team. And Chris Taylor has done a really, really good job of so far. I mean, we didn't score much points last week. We got a win, and then this game here we just barely lost. But I mean, is the product on the field has looked a lot better, and the stadium was pumping last week against Green Bay. You could have thought it was a playoff game. I mean, it did have a lot of Green Bay Packers fans in there, but it was pumping. The way Bryce Young is playing, it has me excited for the future. Now, head coach and GM gotta put the right pieces around him. But just watching how Bryce Young played, watching what Emir Smith Marset did, watching what DJ Chark did, watching what the Adam Thielen continues to do, watching what Chuba Hubbard has done. The line is looking better. Gabe Jackson has been a revelation for us, and the offensive guard, he's given us some stability. And the team is just looking a lot more effective. Now we got a game against Jacksonville coming up. I don't know if Lawrence gonna play. He mashed up his shoulder in the thing, but he more than likely he's gonna play because they're fighting for playoff now because they toy with the thing. But the team gives me hope to watch every side. Remember at some point I'd come here and I just want to fall asleep because I didn't want to talk about the Panthers. No, I always want to win, but the way the team playing, you got some type of pride again. The Panthers lost that pride. No, it's back here again, and I'm really happy, excited to see what's going on. And I just like I said, continued development for Bryce Young is the key for these next two games. Don't get no injury. Continued. I'll say it again. Derek Brown is a monster. He continues to play about 90% of the snaps, actually. That's a lot for a defensive tackle, and still is like a top 5 defensive tackle. He continues to play at an intriguing level. Brian Barnes, he showed up last week. The quarterbacks played really good. JC Hahn, what's his name? JC Hahn played well. Dante Jackson played well. Luvu continues to be a wrecking ball, over 10 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble. Luvu's playing very, very well. So, I mean, there are pieces. I'm getting a little too excited for the off season, but there are pieces in place that we can continue to build. We just have to see who's running the show to make sure. But yeah, the one thing I understood coming out of that game against Green Bay, there's one thing I clearly understood. Frank Wright was the wrong choice. Let's just put it like that. Frank Wright was the wrong choice in Carolina. I understand what they were trying to do because his experience in offense and quarterbacks. Bryce Young wasn't Frank Wright type of quarterback, but Frank Wright was really the wrong decision. There, now Thomas Brown gonna have to pay for it. I don't think Thomas Brown is gonna come back, but now I can understand why Sean McVay and them guys are dove there with had an injured Cooper Kupp, and then this Puka Nua fella just come out here bossing. Sean McVay is a boss when it comes to his offense, and I'm seeing it now in Carolina based on Thomas Brown's more offensive input. And you know who's gonna get credit to, Jizzle? Remember I tell you this already? Now he's spending a lot more time with him. Jim Caldwell is in the quarterback room every day. At first, he was just an advisor. I don't know why he had the advisor in the NFL. Now it's him, Parks Frazier, our quarterback's coach, passing game coordinator. So Jim Caldwell, Parks Frazier, and Thomas Brown in the quarterback room every day with Bryce Young. You can see a difference. He's trusting the line more. He's trusting himself more. You know, when you get sacked a lot, you get this kind of like happy feet. He actually doing a lot better. So we didn't win, but that's because you can't play against the zebras out there. These referees definitely is some zebras out there. But I was really, really pleased that the Panthers put up 30 points when we put up past 15 points for twice in the whole season. 300 yards from Bryce Young. Some not just normal throws, some really good down the field throw, touch passes, dead eye passes. I'll give credit there. And also, like I said, Chuba and those guys, they continue to do well. And I saw some PFF grades. The line is looking better. So I'll continue to keep the team going and keep pounding. And we'll see what happens with Jacksonville. We'll continue to spoil some playoff hopes. Someone asked Derek Brown when we played Atlanta, how you feel about beating Atlanta, and Derek Brown say, well, I'm gonna be sitting on the couch with me. So that's what you want to hear from players, even though you're out of the playoffs tonight, you're still playing hard. So we got a game against Jacksonville and then the game against the Bucs. So let's hope we string together some two strong performances as we go, boy. So that's it from me. Just like you and Sheena, I know you guys got anything on the Panthers.
No, I watched that game.
I didn't watch it, but I know listening to it with you, and then you bombard my phone after the game with the kind of paparazzi thing you send me. So, but I think this is what you want to see from the Panthers. This is what you want to see. You're gonna be a growing season this year. We probably expected more, but this is what you want to see, a positive outcome. I think if you finish the season on a positive note, you have the room to now look at what you need going into the off season, make a whole adjustments, hopefully make the right pick at head coach, and then just go from there.
Yeah. So we got to see how it is. But I mean, like I said, coming over these final few games, you just wanted to see a better. You wanted to see a better performance from Vice Young. Confidence growing, and you can see you getting more comfortable. And I do believe we're gonna see some nice stuff when the season goes. So just looking forward to these last two games. All right, so now we're gonna switch it over to KG. KG, tell me if I gotta go sleep or not, cause I ain't here with you all night with the Eagles.
Well, as you can see, watching this team is a one and done playoff team. Honestly, I've been saying it from the start to finish, from the beginning of week 1. Knowing what, week 12, going into week 13. Week 12? What I think say week 12?
We'll see week 12.
Up top? It's week 16, right?
Yeah.
Week 16 going into week 17. And for some reason, this team still has not fixed the issues they have on both sides of the football. The defense, yes, you can say you don't have enough talent, but offense, you have all the talent in the world. There's no damn excuse. You fired the damn defensive coordinator and you did nothing with the offensive coaching staff. Nobody. Nick Sirianni himself didn't even do shit. Didn't even send take over play calling. But even if he did, I don't think it would be any better because this is the same offense we saw early in the 2021 season when the team was 2-5 and he gave up play calling to Shane Steichen. And after that team took off, made a Super Bowl next year, best offense in the NFL. And here you go in the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts is sergeant, looking like a Pro Bowl all-pro type of quarterback. No, we have no Shane Steichen. And here you go again. Offense is still struggling. You came out of the bye week, played decent football. You would think that the team would fix some of the deficiencies that they have on offense or defense, regardless of the schemes and playmakers and talent. But still, there was no change in offense. You still refuse to run the football. You still refuse to put the running backs in positions to be successful. You still refuse to move the pocket at times. You still refuse to put Jalen Hurts on the center. You refuse to move the pocket with Jalen Hurts. You refuse to roll him up. You refuse to play action. You refuse to coach him hard when he's playing hero football. This is the first game where I saw Jalen Hurts taking check downs. He took a lot of check downs in this game. In the Seattle game, he should have taken a whole lot of check downs. Should have also looked at Devontae Smith at times. You cannot keep honing in on AJ Brown. Yes, he's a best friend, but is hindering him and the offense. In that game against the Seattle Seahawks, Devontae Smith was open 95% of the time. Whatever happened to getting Dallas Goedert involved too as well? Whatever happened to getting the slot receiver going too? Quez ain't it no more because Quez can't catch. And he can't run a road. And he can't fight for the ball. So that's out of the question. But every time Zacchaeus is in there, he's either making a good block for a big run or a touchdown, or even making a good catch for a big play, or even making a decent catch for first down. Why is he not in the game more often? Why can't you see it? I see it. You played against the Giants. Jalen Hurts, that interception that he threw, the Dallas got a foul down. If you look off the cornerback, you look off the receiver, you throw that ball, probably the ball don't get picked, regardless if he slip. But the fact that you were staring on that cornerback, he was ready to jump on that ball. He knew what was coming. Jalen Hurts has regressed. And this is because of what he has on coaching staff right now. Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson. Mostly Nick Sirianni, because it's his offense, it's his team. And right now, this team is reeling. Regardless, even though we won, this team is reeling right now. But probably might fall off the railings too. You had 4 fumbles in that game. Your last one. You got lucky. I don't understand why Boston can't run into your own guy. I don't understand that kickoff. You lost that one. You gave them 14 easy points, a pick 6, and a fumble and kickoff right in their territory. Boom. Easy touchdown. The defense didn't help because you saw Saquon just easily walking, and that was it. Bam. If the Giants had a much better quarterback and a much better offensive coordinator, Eagles would have lost that game easy. You were up 20-3 going into the third quarter. You lost the game 33-25. You should have put up at least 40 points on the Giants. Again, this offense has no creativity, no fluidity. The team is not fundamentally sound. They're not technically sound as well. Yeah, you probably might go you might go play against Arizona next week. You might win. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose.
Kind of games.
You're probably gonna play Giants again. You probably might lose that game too. And the way you play, you might be one and done in the playoffs. You're looking like a one and done team right now. If you play against Green Bay, you will lose that game. You play against a Ram, you will lose that game. You play against the Buccaneers, you will lose that game. The way this team play right now, there's no way Drew Lock should have beaten you in that game. Regardless, I don't care who he is. Damn Tyrod Taylor, I must beat you. He come off the bench and I must beat you.
Them benched to be the last night, or he getting?
Yeah, they benched him.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Yeah.
They benched him. And they brought in Tyrod Taylor, and there goes the offense started moving a little better. For some reason, our defense, we don't bring pressure. We don't disguise blitzes. We don't disguise pressure. We don't disguise our defense. We don't do stunts on the defensive line. You just can't line up and rush every game. Whatever happened to doing stunts? Whatever happened to using Nolan Smith? You drafted him late in the first round. Whatever happened to using him?
I don't never hear his name, but
exactly. You waited late to decide to use Sidney Brown. You already know who Sidney Brown is. Yes, he's a rookie. He's going to struggle. But if you start him early, he will find ways to correct the mistakes. Probably if you got a better defensive back coach, he probably would find ways to fix the mistakes. Then after that, you probably would see a much better Sidney Brown, because right now, the most aggressive player on that defensive back line is Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship. Finally, you saw where they're stuck in Kelly Ringo. He's making plays. He's playing aggressive football. He's tackling. He's not shying away from the runner like Slay and Bradbury used to do. It's time now. You got to start playing these young fellas now. You can't wait. Again, the offense, I don't want to know. Like I said before, I told you guys, I don't know if they can fix it. They can try, but I don't know how they can fix it, because it's impossible for me for you to go from week 1 to week 16, 17, and it's the same issues going on over and over and over and over. This is the first game you started off quick in the first half. But you decided to get fucking pretty and decided to pass the damn ball. When DeAndre Swift was having a good game, he was running the ball effectively. He had 20 carries on 92 yards. If you gave him the ball more, probably would have had 120 yards. Gabriel wasn't the ball effectively too as well. But you failed to run the ball again. You failed to get those offensive linemen going. Jalen Hurts, I don't know what he's doing, because he still ain't seen a field good. Mind you, this offensive line has the best pass blocking win rate in the NFL. Why is it my quarterback has 18 turnovers? Again, he's not being coached up the right way. He has regressed. He's not looking like a franchise quarterback right now. And if you don't fix it, this would be another Carson Wentz situation. Because Carson Wentz was playing like a hero ball in his second year because he didn't win that Super Bowl. A backup quarterback won it. So he was doing a whole lot of unscheduled bullshit. He got the money. Then after he seemed forcing the ball to Zach Ertz every game. Until he got injured and Nick Foles stepped in that second year, and we won 4 games down the stretch, and we went into the playoffs and lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round. This offensive coaching staff has to correct it. If they don't correct it, they'll be one and done, and I think you should fire Nick Sirianni. Honestly, fire that whole coaching staff. Because you can't tell me that you came out of the bye week.
They ain't gonna fire Sirianni.
You look at film, you look at film, and you couldn't fix a damn thing. You couldn't even fix a baby pamper.
You want them to fire Sirianni, but they ain't gonna do it.
They ain't gonna do it. But it's impossible for this team to look like this. Especially our offense. You have some of the best talent on offense. Why is it you can't get AJ Brown and Devontae Smith in motion, getting creative on offense, giving him easy routes to get open? Why is Jalen Hurts not seeing the field well? Why is he missing throws? Why is he missing receivers? Why is he missing the easy check down? Again, coaching. You're not coaching the quarterback hard enough. But hopefully next week you can somehow rewrite it and beat the Cardinals. It won't surprise me if you win by a touchdown. It won't surprise me if you lose by a touchdown or a field goal. But that's it on the stupid team that I don't call the Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. I mean, he called the team stupid. I don't really understand what's going on with the guy.
Stupid team.
Looking forward, how it is that it's still a lot of scenarios to go. Right now, San Fran has the number 1 seed. I think Philly is number 2, and Detroit is number 3. But all of them have the same record, so a lot of stuff can still happen. Games are still critical to everyone based on positioning.
Yeah.
Right now, the Buccaneers are number 4 in the division, in the conference. And then you have Dallas at 5. I think the Rams at 6.
Seahawks 7.
And Seahawks at 7 right now. But in the hunt, you also have the Saints, the Vikings, the Packers, the Falcons, but both they're kind of looking at the Saints and Falcons are kind of looking at the South rather than the wild card. And then in the AFC, you got Baltimore up top, and then you got who else you got? You got Miami. Who else?
Kansas City,
Jacksonville, and then you got Cleveland, who's doing a great. I think Stefanski should get to me coach of the year, having to do that with Joey Flacco and Dorian Thompson and PJ Walker. I mean, I'm all for the Shane Steichen and D'Amico Ryan hype train, but at 10-5, I still think I'd give to Stefanski because he's done a tremendous job. Flacco looks like a rejuvenated Flacco. He's slinging his ball all over. And let's be real, you know one thing we ain't talking about? That loss to Nick Chubb was a big loss as well.
Yeah.
And Nick Chubb dictates the run game and the play action, and I don't think nobody fear hunting them fellows. So you gotta give credit to Stefanski. One thing you gotta give credit where credit is due. So I mean, Steichen and those guys are doing great, but Stefanski would get my coach of the year. He would get my vote. So still a lot of stuff to go on. Some key games coming up, and then you know what they like to do on the last game of the season. It's a lot of divisional games. So every game is divisional. So these next 2 weeks gonna be crucial when we come back.
We'll do them live.
Yeah, when we come back next week, you're gonna see a lot of shake up in how the standings are. I think some of them are actually playing each other. So you got a lot of good games.
You got a lot of big games next year. This week. 2 big games this week is that Baltimore Miami game.
And
then you got
Dallas and Detroit.
And big games.
Right. So like I say, even like the Panthers aren't playing for nothing, but Jacksonville needs a win. They play us, so they need to win because they're tied for the lead. So there's a lot of stuff that is going on and a lot of stuff that we have to continue to monitor. But
Yeah, Jacksonville just barely holding on, right? Because Houston right on them tail, right?
all of them got the same record. Houston, Indianapolis, all of them lose this Sunday. One of them just needed to win. And then what a thing. I think Houston lost. Indianapolis lost to the Falcons. Jacksonville lost to who the hell them lose to by? We were watching that game. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, right? The Jaguars.
Yeah.
And then Houston, who Houston played by? Houston played someone in last, but then remember Shane, you was watching it and you said this case Keenum look so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 losses. Anyone had win, they would have been on top of the South.
When CJ Sherlock,
depending on when he could get this concussion.
yeah, Houston playing Cleveland.
Yeah, so again, we gotta look at these things. A lot of stuff like that AFC South is tight. Cleveland right there. AFC West, Kansas City ain't looking as strong as before. East, Buffalo's looking very dangerous again.
Yes.
So we still got a lot of stuff to dissect as we come up on our shows. Like I said, Saturday we'll do our preview show, and then next week Saturday we'll do a preview show, Sunday our post-game reaction show, and then Tuesday the wrap-up show. We'll get back to the normal schedule, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll switch it over to our game balls. I know, guys, who's our game balls for this past week?
This past week, and give my game ball to Antonio Pierce in the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that was a outstanding game they played against Kansas City. And I think he's making a very good play and proving his point to be the next head coach of the Raiders.
All right. I'll give mine. Like I said, I'll credit is due. I'll give mine to. Actually, I could give to somebody, but no, I can give to Lamando and the Ravens as a 2 top teams, and those guys came ready to play, executed, forced turnovers, and you gotta give credit where credit is due. So I'll give Jim Harbaugh and those guys game ball. Jizzle?
I'm going to give my game ball to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for putting a stronghold on those Jacksonville Jaguars. They start to look like frauds. Don't think Doug Houston has a clue on what to do with that team. They have good offensive weapons, but he looks like he doesn't know how to use them. Some like that staple what he did in Philadelphia. But you gotta give credit to Baker Mayfield, and those guys are coming up with a victory. I think they're leading the division now too, right?
Yeah.
In the NFC, the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
They just need to win one more game over the next 2, and they'll be they'll win the thing. So if they win the NFC.
Right. So I give credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, Wabok. All right, so trash bags all good, mine. I just flip it around. I think either Shane or KG, one of you guys kept hearing me say on Sunday. I think Shane kept hearing me say these Jaguars suck bad.
Yeah.
So Dougie P and those guys had a comfortable lead, and all of a sudden something gone out of the way, and they just kind of lost the way they play. So yeah, they definitely get a trash bag.
I can give my trash bag to the team that doing the most talking in the NFL. Whenever it come time for them to show out, they fall flat on their face. That's them Dallas Cowboys. Them can't beat a winning team to see them goddamn life. Every time they play a team that's a real contender, they just fall up in a ball and go in the fetal position. And it's been said, they just don't play well against teams with winning records. They'll have bragging about this record they have. But if you look at their schedule, most teams that they beat is teams that are not 500. As soon as they play a 500 team above, it's a struggle game. If they might win, I think they win one game against a winning team, every other game they lose. So trash bag going to the Dallas Cowboys, and they better pull out them socks next week, yeah? Because Detroit might. All right.
Yep.
The
KG.
trash bag goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. At this point, don't tell me now you're trying to find out whether this receivers could play or not. You Sam all through training camp. All through the damn training camp and preseason. Oh no, you're trying to you just figured out that they can't play. No, you got Patrick Mahomes frustrated. No, you got Travis Kelce, Mr. Taylor Swift, who used to be Mr. Reliable catching the football. He catching the football long.
Yeah, I can't
They get my
stand
trash
every
bag.
time he do something I'm sure Taylor. So I
Taylor
can't
Swift.
stand that. But I can't watch no Kansas City game no more. But
That's where he got back.
every single time them show Kelsey the guy show geez, I'm bet I never see Taylor Swift in my life.
But it's,
No.
there's,
I can't understand.
there's a lot of things not going on with Kansas City that I think I don't know. But
The last Eric Bieniemy, who used to be the accountability
Yep, they
guy,
always say that
now
if the enemy wasn't doing the plays or Andy Reid, but you could clearly tell a difference.
see the difference with next year. The Eagles losing Shane Steichen, it's the same shit.
Say what you want. Eric Bieniemy, he just makes Sam Howell the top 3 in passing yards in Washington. So he obviously know what he's doing. What he can get head coaching job, that's another story, but guy knows how to call it your offense. So all right, so that brings us to our end of our game bars and trash bags. Like we said, there's a lot to dissect going forward. A lot of playoff scenarios right now. Injuries, I think TJ Hawkinson tore his ACL and MCL.
Yep.
So he's done. Still monitoring the Trevor Lawrence injury. I think something happened to Dorian Thompson, the Browns backup quarterback, because they signed PJ Walker to the active roster. So he'll back up Joey Flacco. A lot of bruises, and so week 16, week 17. Normally this would be the last game of the season, but no, there's 17 games, so you got extra game now. So still 2 more regular season weeks of football, which we will catch up on. Like I said, on Saturday we'll do our preview show. The Panthers play the Jaguars, the 49ers play the Commanders, and the Eagles play the Cardinals. So we'll catch up on that on the pregame show on Tuesday.
Playing West Coast? Are you playing East Coast, kids?
East Coast.
Oh,
So we'll catch that up on Tuesday. I think our games are on Sunday. I ain't too sure.
we got a game Thursday. We got a game Saturday.
No. I mean our games.
Yeah, all our games on Sunday. My game on
All
Sunday.
our games on Sunday.
Game 1 on
Yeah. I know you got games on the other days, but I didn't know which thing. Any other news and notes you guys got? I don't have no news and notes other than David Tepper trying to get Ben Johnson.
Finally sign a DL.
Oh, Stephen D. Sebastian.
So some backup because I think they're gonna sit until the playoffs. He dealing with his growing injury, and then Hargrave had just come back. So we get a lot of D linemen went to
Sebastian D. Joseph.
So just picking up, pieces that could fill in the spot. Probably start resting some of them and fill and keep people.
All right.
You might not see Paulie play too much full games no more later because look like this stinger he again last week. He aggravated again yesterday too. So
all right, so we'll keep everyone up to date on Twitter with any other latest news and notes. You can always check our account. We'll always post all the up to date news around the NFL. So we'll keep you guys up to date. I think that's it from us. That's it from me. I think that's it from you guys too. I don't know if you guys got anything else. That's it from us. Like we said, be sure to like and subscribe the page. Show your love and support by sending us a Cash App. I mean, you send anything is valuable for the show, so you can always show your appreciation to the show. But just keep liking and subscribing the page at Island Bars Football Talk. And like I said, we'll try to get some persons on in the upcoming season. And anyone that wants to come and talk some football can always just send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. And you can join the show and talk some football with us. Doesn't matter which team. So outside of that, we're done. We're gonna see you guys on Saturday, 8 o'clock usual time for our pregame show.
All right. Peace out.
Yeah.